So a little over 3 years ago, I applied a ceramic coating to this Dodge Challenger. In fact, I might have done a video on it. I've lost track of how many videos I've done, but the customer brought it back for me to put a new ceramic coating on it. We do have some major water spots on this paint though that we need to address. I'm going to try to address them chemically before we come in and try to remove them by abrading them off. That normally can just help preserve the clear coat. So we might test out a few new products for severe water spots. So the coating we're going to be working with today is actually Yum Paint Serum IV. Anytime you're working with a coating for the first time, there is a learning curve. I have been on the hunt for a pro grade coating to offer here at my shop. I don't want something that is difficult to work with though. And many of the pro grade ones that are on the market, they are more involved. They are somewhat physically challenging and exhausting. So if I can find something that fits that kind of 4+ year category, that's going to be somewhat easy to work with and somewhat affordable, that is kind of what I'm looking for. The thing that is like kind of making me want to consider Yum is that Nick tested these coatings for over 7 years before he released them to the public. But when you test it that long, put it on multiple vehicles, 4 years to test them out in the real world, and then you can say, this is our durability that you should expect with it. To me, that is something that I can get behind. So for me personally, haven't tested it, but knowing that Nick has in the UK environment with multiple detailers testing it for years, that gives me more confidence to put the coatings on customers' vehicles. But let's go ahead and get this vehicle prepped and ready to apply the Yum Serum IV to this vehicle. Super excited, a little nervous, but super excited. Some detailers have a favorite kind of vehicle to detail, and for me, that would be the Dodge Challenger. We've got big flat panels that just make this thing look absolutely gorgeous, let alone the muscle power that these vehicles have. It was super sad when they discontinued making them in 2023. But as gorgeous as this vehicle is, its beauty is being dulled by the water spots on the paint. And if you have a ceramic coating on your vehicle, I always say your biggest potential issue is this right here, water spots. So if you have a coating, you need to watch this video. So we've got a bunch of chemicals here that we're going to test out, and some I've had really good success with in the past. We have SB3 Destroy. We have IGL Delete. Those are probably two of my top performers for severe water spots for mild to moderate. Shine Supply Spot Rinse. This is probably more of a maintenance product, but we're just going to even see, kind of play around, can this knock it down a little. Fast Water Spot Remover from McKee's 37. This was just sent to me from CCI, their Heavy Mineral Deposit Remover Gel. We have Underdog WSP. This has worked really well for me in the past. Luminous Water Spot Remover, Strong Acid Cleaner. And this was viral a while back ago, Stud Factory Dissolve X2 Paint Water Spot Remover. And then we also have CarPro Spotless 2.0. So we're gonna test some of these out to see if any of them remove it. First we need to wash, then we're going to dry, and then we're going to test out our various water spot removers. As much as I'd love to think that this is still the original ceramic coating, I'm pretty sure what we're seeing here is just a good old topper. Alright, so the soap that we're using is a higher pH, so we're gonna rewash this after we're done with our acid treatments, just to help neutralize the surface, because we are putting an acid on there. So we're gonna go ahead and give this a rinse. And we're gonna get this dry real quick. This is from that detail shop. Our water spots have a good bit of ghosting on the paint, which is super unsightful on such a big, just flat surface. We're gonna start off with the least aggressive and work our way kind of up. McKee's 37, their Fast Water Spot Remover, and that is not doing much of anything, folks. It's not doing anything. Okay, so for severe, we're gonna say that's not gonna work. All right, then we got our Luminous Water Spot Remover. Stronger smell. And that's not doing much of anything. Nope. These are all fresh sides. Carpro Spotless 2.0. Looks to be doing a little bit more. It looks like it's breaking them down a little bit. We're gonna do this row and then rinse it off, because some of these products you don't want to leave on the paint too long. You can actually hear the coarseness on the paint. So we're gonna give these a quick rinse. I'd say our Carpro actually remove the coating because that looks a lot more flat. This normally has worked pretty well for moderate water spots for me. I wouldn't say like severe, but this is like if my McKee's 37 product can't knock it, this is what I go to next. So that's our shine supply. We're gonna try on this side, fresh side, Underdog WSP. And this normally can save a ceramic coating if it is severe. That actually doesn't look bad. I'm kind of curious if we come over here, spot that we rinsed and neutralized. Okay, let's go over our vinyl. This is promising. This is very promising. All right, so that definitely, it removed whatever topper was there. I'm not going to say the coating, and even over here might have just been whatever topper was on here. Let's see if we get it dry. Oh, wow. Okay. WSP. First product that has actually been effective at treating these severe water spots. All right, so we're not done testing though, okay? We have a solution, but I want to see if these other products could be an alternative, okay? So we're going to test out CCI. Their heavy duty mineral deposit gel. And I didn't even try this. We do have a little bit more sudsing. They do have a surface neutralizer that they recommend using after this. I don't know if this is working as well, but it does look like it could be working somewhat. Knocked it down greatly, but when we go over it with a towel, I can still see like little silhouettes. All right, so let's try SB3 Destroy. This has normally worked really well for me. In fact, I had to do a Dodge Challenger years ago that had come from Hawaii, and they have acid rain, and most vehicles in Hawaii are dealing with severe water spotting issues. And I had to use this on a microfiber pad and actually polish the vehicle with this on the glass, and it did a great job. This looks like we got it. Okay, we're gonna do a little bit of our vinyl, make sure we're safe. Let's see if our SB3 Destroy was another option. And looks like it did a great job. A little bit on our vinyl stickers still, but on our paint, I'm not seeing any silhouettes, any ridges, so I think that is another option beside our Underdog WSP. We got IGL Delete. Okay, and this is, from what I had heard years ago, IGL Delete used to actually kind of white label this product for Underdog WSP. But Underdog WSP, it looks like it's a different formula. It is now more gel. It used to be like this, that you could spray it in a bottle, but now it's more gel like CCI. And are we going after? Looks like we're knocking them down. We don't have much lubrication with this though, and our Underdog WSP and the SP3 Destroy both felt like they had a little bit more lubrication, but we are knocking it down. It's taken a little bit of massaging, which on an entire vehicle might get a little tiring. That doesn't make the surface as flat as some of these other ones. So could that be more protection friendly, possibly. Last but not least, we're gonna try our Sud Factory paint water spot remover. And I'm gonna actually, I think you can put a sprayer on this. All right, so this was our Suds Factory Dissolve. My battery died on my camera. That definitely did remove whatever protection was on this paint. You can clearly see we've got some residue and still some ghosting because I can still see some on our paint. It knocked it down, it reduced it. But personally, I think our Underdog WSP for the price is going to be the winner for this vehicle. So we've got a few options between IGL Delete, SB3 Destroy. Our Suds Factory was probably a runner-up, similar to our CCI water spot remover, but our winner was our Underdog WSP. So now what we're going to do, get the entire vehicle washed, and then we're going to go ahead, massage this into the paint, and then we'll see where we're at after doing our water spot treatment. We're going to do this on our paint and our glass, and then get everything dry, and then assess the paint, see what we need to do for paint correction. So we are testing out a new product that was just sent to me, Feynlab Tire and Wheel Cleaner. This customer said he wants a tire and wheel coating. So we're going to be putting on the Feynlab Black Velvet tire sealant. And I figured, let's prep their tires with Feynlab's cleaner. Ooh, okay. Funky color. This kind of reminds me years and years ago. McGuire's used to have a tire and wheel cleaner that was like neon green. And it actually was color changing. That's different. Does it smell? Just has a strong APC smell. I know we shouldn't smell chemicals. I can really smell it now. I kind of dig the green. You can see nice browning coming off. It definitely is a stronger smelling chemical. But these tires are pretty full of bloom. Now, we're not gonna like be super crazy aggressive with cleaning our tires. All right, I'm gonna go one more round when we're done. All right, and this is the Viking Car Care Plus wheel brush. I've been loving it the last few weeks. Does a great job at holding soap and scrubbing and cleaning gently. I love wheels like this. They're so much easier to clean. Good those chrome wheels look. It's back to being a mirror. Tires. We're gonna go one more round just real quick. Let's see, do we have white foam? Did we knock it down? Still a little yellow, which is okay. Maybe some of that is just the green. All right, now that we have the boring stuff figured out as far as what water spot remover we're gonna use, and we've got our tires, wheels, and door jambs out of the way, we can get to actually washing this vehicle. Take note that after rinsing off our high pH foaming pre-soak, our protection doesn't look very tight or crisp, and our hydrophobics look really irregular. That says to me we're clogged. Whenever I ceramic coat a vehicle, I take the license plate off. You can actually see the ceramic coating underneath. Looks fantastic. But everywhere else, it's clogged and probably worn off. It's kind of funny. If we were to look at water spots under a microscope, it would kind of look like a crater on the moon. We've got these peaks and valleys. So first we need to wash everything before we do our water spot treatment. And you don't want to do a clay towel treatment until after this is done. That way you're going to get a better decontamination with your towel. The worst of our water spots is on the roof. These ones are probably going to have to like compound off. So our panel is still wet. We're just going to be very careful and massage this in. We're going to work panel by panel and rinse it off. I like the fact that we have some sudsing because I don't have any soap on the panel. This just gives us some lubrication. And I am using a Korean plush towel just again to try to give us some cushion if we can. Got gloves on because it is an acid and we're not going to do this in direct sunlight. It is a cloudy day.
Now for a majority of the vehicle, our WSP was working fantastic, but there were certain areas that I felt like we needed to do a second round, so we're going to switch it up.
This is one product that I will never not have in my arsenal for circumstances just like this. I don't get a ton of severe water spots, but when I do, this stuff is normally the solution for me. Some would just break out a compound and they would go after the paint, and sometimes when you compound and polish water spots away, you don't fully get them. They can kind of go away temporarily with the heat, but then, you know, when you wash them and the paint calms back down and you go back to wash it in the future, they'll reappear. So I much prefer going after things chemically first before we try to chase it with abrasion. I think we got a little more. This thing had so many water spots on it. I hit it with like the strongest acid I got, and look.
I do declare, y'all, the coating is still there. I mean, it doesn't look great, but it's still there.
3-year-old coating. It was still there. It's just so clogged. Technically, using an acid on this paint could be going after the rail dust in a more like extreme sense, but we're still gonna do an iron remover and clay towel combo in case there's some tar or grit on the paint that we missed.
Now that the mineral deposits are removed, we can come in and safely do a clay towel and iron remover treatment. We did have a good bit of tar on this vehicle, so it's good that we did that. Now let's see what our paint looks like. Now, when we've got severe water spots that have etched into the clear coat, sometimes the only way to fix those is by polishing them away, or sometimes they're permanent. But fortunately, we did have a lot that we were able to chemically remove.
So we have just a few on like our vinyl stickers, but our paint, we were able to get, I would say 90 to 95% of the water spots out. And they were some of the more stubborn ones that I've ever seen. There's just a few spots that we'll have to kind of chase with a polisher. And I think our roof is the area where we're just gonna have to maybe go after them a little bit more. We do not want to lock them in though with our ceramic coating. So it is critical that we get them off. So polishing is going to refine the rest of our paint and hopefully remove the remaining water spots that we have on here. But if you're getting ready to apply a ceramic coating and you are struggling with water spots, I'm gonna put the link to those products down below. Just make sure you've got gloves and even long sleeves on, because even the few areas that my skin made contact with the cleaner, it was starting to burn. This paint already looks 1,000 times brighter because we were able to remove the mineral deposits that were kind of making the paint look dull, and also the fact that our ceramic coating looked 1,000 times better. Did not look fresh. It looked like a 3-year-old coating, but before I would have said it was completely gone. There were certain areas that it actually looked like day one. Our clay towel did mar it though. So for those that say, yeah, you can safely clay towel a ceramic coating and you won't damage it, I wouldn't say that, because you could actually see kind of patterns from the direction of the clay towel in the coating. You can kind of mar the coating with a clay towel. I wasn't necessarily using the most lubricating soap though, but I don't want to use a clay towel on a coated vehicle if I can avoid it. Chemicals are your best bet before we have to come in and use any sort of abrasive to remove bonded contaminants.
And even though some people think that a coating can't last 3 years, our hydrophobics didn't look great, but you can see by this 50-50, our coating was still there.
So we just got done doing our test spot. We're trying out 3D1 in a yellow foam pad. You can see where we have polished off the old coating here. still have kind of some remnants of it. And using a rinseless wash is just a great way. One, remove 3D1 because it's a bugger to remove. It's super grabby. But two, it's going to help us see where we have fully removed the old coating and if there's any kind of old stuff that we need to polish off. So this should be pretty quick. We're not getting the paint perfected, but 90% there with 3D1. So we're gonna do this on the entire vehicle, do our panel prep wipe, and then we'll be ready to get our ceramic coating applied.
Dodge paint is actually one of my favorite types of paints to polish. For the most part, they seem to be more on the medium side, which means that they can handle a more aggressive foam pad like a yellow or a blue, correct really nicely, and finish down with really nice clarity. We ended up doing about 2 passes with our blue HDO pad from Lake Country, but it was a little bit more of a stiff pad. So just in these tighter lines where I wanted to get in a little bit closer, we ended up using a more pliable orange foam polishing pad. And even though we're using a rinseless wash to wipe off our polish residue, we're still going to do a panel prep wipe. And since we're applying a Yum coating, we're going to use Yum panel prep to wipe all of our surfaces down with. Now, just as with our 6-year serum, our 4-year serum comes with a beautiful display package. We've got a really cool black and gold bottle. We're going to go ahead, get this mixed, put our orifice within it, and we're ready to get this coating applied. Hopefully it's going to be a lot easier than the 6-year, which had a very quick flash time and was a little difficult to level. So fingers crossed this is going to be a more pleasant user experience.
All right, so we primed our applicator with 3 streams, but we're going to go a little heavier. We're going to go right down the middle, do our box, and we're going to fill it in. I want to put a little bit more. Okay, that just gives us a little bit more work time, and I think a little bit easier leveling. Okay, we're going beyond half so that way we overlap, we don't miss anything. All right, gonna bring you guys in for a closer look. So there's our sweating. And you can see I went a little heavier this time, so you're gonna see that sweating a little bit more clearly. Look how much of that transfer solution you get off with that first towel. Okay, we're gonna take our Korean plush, just dial it in, easy peasy. See where we overlapped. That's odd. Why are we seeing where we overlapped? Comes off, just gotta massage it a little bit. But I don't think this coating likes being layered. Interesting. Gotta keep an eye on that, make sure it doesn't reappear. But that's just how quick it was to apply. A lot easier than Paint Serum 6, I'll say that. So I think we're just gonna have to figure out how much to apply, how long to let it sit, and we'll try to kind of figure out that sweet spot.
Even though we did have some ghosting that appeared after layering our coating, once we massaged that out and inspected with our softbox light, we had no streaks, no high spots. What was nice about this coating is that I could do an entire panel at one time. So even if the issue of overlapping was there, when you coat 2 sections all at once, that kind of avoided that issue presenting itself. Personally, I much prefer a sweating coating versus a rainbowing coating. They're much easier to see when they flash off, and when you see that sweating, you know that the coating is ready to level. This was actually a world of a difference compared to Yum Serum 6. I think I actually prefer working with this coating. Tomorrow we're actually planning on doing a second Dodge Challenger. It's actually for the son of this customer. Both of them have Dodge Challengers. His is actually a black 2023 that we're going to be applying Yum Serum to. So make sure you guys subscribe and follow so that way you don't miss out on Yum Serum 2. But when it comes to personal preference, I want something that's going to have more chemical resistance, more durability, but give me that ease of application. So far, this is hitting all the marks for me when it comes to application. Personally, I do wish that it would be slightly more affordable. $200 is a little bit on the expensive side. I think some of that could be our packaging, but we're also going to try out another coating that was sent to us from Yum, and this is their trim serum. This actually did a really nice job at restoring and coating all at once. This trim was pretty faded, and you can see we went kind of from gray to black. All in all, I've been extremely impressed with what I've seen so far from the Yum serums. 6 was pro grade, more difficult, and had insane slickness. 4 was far easier to work with, but it had almost the same slickness. I wouldn't say as slick as 6, but it had very comparable slickness. So for me, if I'm looking for a super slick coating that maybe is more affordable and easier to work with, I would much prefer this coating. Personally, for me, a 2 to 4 year coating is perfect for most daily drivers, because after about 3 years, you're going to want to polish and reapply coating like this customer did. So I'm curious to know from you guys, if you've used the Yum serums, which is your favorite? And when it comes to coating durability, what are you looking for out of a coating? Are you looking for something in the 2 to 3 year range? And considering some of the advances that we've had within the detailing industry the last few years, how much do you think is a fair price for a ceramic coating that offers insane slickness, chemical resistance, and durability?
So it is about 7:20 at night, and we are all done applying our Yum Paint Serum IV to this Dodge Challenger. I do think we have enough in the bottle that we could do a second vehicle. And I did find that with this coating, I'm not going to say soak your applicator, but the instructions say, you know, do 3 rows to prime it and then a few drops after that for each one. And I did find that if you went too thin, it would dry up on you quickly, and then it was a little harder to get it off. So if you put a little bit more on there, kind of, you know, just like a little, it should come off super easy. It was maybe 20 seconds in this environment before it was ready to level. So realistically, I could do 1 panel comfortably, 2 sections, or maybe 1 large door panel at a time without any issues. There were a couple areas where I noticed when we overlapped from one section to the next, it didn't like having coating put over top of a recently applied section. It was almost rejecting it. It was a little cloudy, and we had to massage that out. So that just tells you how quick this coating is kind of setting up, how strong this coating is. In fact, we did have one high spot that was like right where that rear view mirror is, and I had to polish it off and reapply even an hour after. So if we do have missed spots, you might need to just kind of do a quick hand polish, do a quick panel prep wipe, reapply coating to those sections. But all in all, turned out great. The slickness on this paint is literally mind-boggling. I think that's what I'm most impressed with the Yum coatings at this point. What I've seen, their 6 and their 4, the slickness is off the charts. So if you like slick coatings, you're gonna love Yum coatings. 4 was definitely easier than 6 to work with. So really excited to hopefully see this vehicle back. Really excited to put this on my Subaru for us to be able to test it in the real world for you guys. So just make sure you guys subscribe and follow as we see these vehicles, and as we do more tests on my Subaru, we'll share with you guys what you can expect with Yum serums. But all in all, I think the coating went great, and I'm really happy with the end result. We've got to do our tires, our wheels, and the interior tomorrow, so we're not quite done. Stay tuned. We might show you guys a few shots of those products being applied, but if you want to see the finished result out in the sun, make sure you guys keep watching.
So even though the fronts of our wheels cleaned up nicely with our Feynlab tire and wheel cleaner, the inner wheel barrels need a little bit of TLC. We need to polish them, but I'm not going to remove the wheels. We're just going to do what we can with our hand in between our larger spokes to polish the wheels. Now, I do have a glove on because the brakes wanted to shred my skin, but we're using Lat 26, their metal polish. This is actually one of my favorite products from this brand. They actually specialize in boat products, but this is an exceptionally good metal polish. Now that we've polished our wheels, we can apply our Black Velvet tire sealant. This is going to last anywhere from 2 to 3 months for the customer and make maintenance super easy. I've had this on my Subaru Outback, and for about 2 months, I did not need to apply any sort of dressing. Simply maintain with soap and water for the next few weeks, and you're good to go. We're also going to protect our wheels with the McKee's 37 graphene wheel coating. This is one of my favorite wheel coatings. I've actually seen it last almost a year. You want to do a water spot treatment on this every few months, but it's a very clear rainbowing ceramic coating. Just let it sit 1 to 2 minutes and then come in with your low nap GSM towels and give it a quick touch. And now we've been able to not only polish and clean our wheels, but we've been able to protect our tires and wheels to make them easier to maintain. Tires are dry to the touch, dirt won't stick to them, and it's going to be so much easier for the customer to maintain the next few months. Now let's go ahead and pull it out into the sunlight and see what she looks like once we're all done.
Sometimes when you pull the car out and you discover not a single high spot, you gotta have someone there to like high five. So I mean, come on. It turned out so freaking good. I think the customer is gonna be ecstatic with the end result. This is some of the slickest paint that I have felt. We got the wheels coated, tire sealant applied, we put the ceramic coating on. I do kind of want to see the hydrophobics. The last time I worked with the Serum 6, I had to kind of release it before I could hit it with water. So we are well past that 12 hours. So we're going to share with you guys a quick look at what our hydrophobics look like. I'm kind of curious. We put the McKee's 37, their graphene wheel coating on the wheels, and our Feynlab Black Velvet tire sealant. And honestly, they make this vehicle look so freaking good. I saw this vehicle last in 2022 when it was brand new. And there's been a lot of life that has happened to this. We had some major water spotting issues that we had to deal with. Paint wasn't in terrible condition thanks to the ceramic coating. After doing a thorough polish and panel prep, putting the ceramic coating on, we did have a little bit of a learning curve, but it wasn't difficult. With our softbox light, again, able to kind of save the day, make sure we have no high spots. We didn't actually have any streaks. Other than that one, we didn't have any sort of high spots on this paint, and she cleaned up super good. So hopefully maybe I'll be able to share with you guys a little bit of the customer's reaction and kind of maybe figure out what he was struggling with the water spots and try to help him treat that moving forward. So we're going to put all the products that we use to prep this vehicle as well as treat the water spots in the video description box down below. And then we're also going to put products that I would recommend the customer use to maintain the vehicle with and even to maintain the water spots should he have this issue in the future. So for those of you that maybe are struggling with the same thing, maybe you have a ceramic coating on your vehicle and you're starting to have some major issues with water spots, I'm going to put some kind of from mild to severe cleaners that you can use. And again, use discretion when using them. We don't want to start off with the most aggressive and we want to start off with the least aggressive and work our way forward. But I will put those products down below because I know that this could potentially be a big issue for some customers if their vehicle's parked outside or maybe they just can't keep up with the water spots. So all in all, we were able to remove the old coating, remove the issues from the old coating with water spots, and now we've kind of reset things, put fresh protection on there, and this vehicle looks as good as day one. So hopefully we're gonna see this vehicle maybe a little bit more frequently. I will tell the customer, if he comes in more frequently, we can address water spotting issues with more mild chemicals versus having to use such strong cleaners that could weaken the coating and just help keep the coating going for him.
Did you notice anything out of the ordinary?
I mean, the water spots were pretty severe. Where do you store it normally?
Well, it's in the garage.
Okay.
But we had a place down the shore, so on occasion I drive down there and we get rain down in Ocean City, New Jersey. I think that might have done it.
So your ceramic, everything looks beautiful. I mean, it literally just rolls right off.
Better than it did the last time, to be honest with you, Chelsea.
Yeah, the last time it was...
I mean, I was the one that did it, so maybe I'm just getting better.
No, that was back in 22, I think.
Yeah. Well, and what year is this? This is a...
This is a 22.
Yeah, I was going to say, it was brand new. No, I mean, products have come a long way. The one thing that I love most about this coating is feel the paint. feel how slick that is. Not every coating gives you that slickness, and that slickness is what's going to give you a little bit more self-cleaning, because dirt literally is going to just whoosh right off of it.
You do a great job.
Well, thank you so much. So
I love this business model. and congratulations, you're very good at what you do.
well, thank you
And
so
it
much.
shows